What is going on, everybody out there? Welcome to Gamers with Games. So today, I gotta talk about something important, okay? Some stuff that's been going on. Kingdom Hearts fans, it's time me and you had a conversation for a bit. Now, in case you haven't checked it out yet, and you probably haven't seen it been passing around amongst the Kingdom Hearts community, or a lot of Kingdom Hearts fans that seem to be a little bit raging right now, a lot of people are passing around this Kingdom Hearts video that's like a discussion video that showed up on IGN. It was part of their History of Awesome series. Now, for a while now, I want to say over the last couple of years, IGN and Kingdom Hearts fans haven't really mixed per se. A lot of it has to do with the animosity that KH fans have towards IGN. A lot of it has to deal with that some people from IGN, like various associate editors and other people that have worked with the site, have said some things that have either criticized or outright just looked down upon the Kingdom Hearts series. Now, that doesn't go to say that this is the viewpoint of the entire website, okay? This is what really the kind of failure to communicate kind of gets into this. A lot of Kingdom Hearts fans seem to be having this bandwagon mentality to hate on a website like IGN or just any sort of entity in general whenever that particular entity or that particular website or group or whatever criticizes their favorite game. When does it that the actual fandom gets in the way of rationality and all kind of like positive thinking or kind of like, constructive thinking gets thrown out the window in favor of just raging on forums, raging on comment sections, and ultimately demonizing one whole website for the viewpoints of just like one or a few individuals? That to me kind of sucks and is a little bit unfair. I was looking at this unfold yesterday, at least at the time I'm recording this vlog. When the actual video went up, there was a whole bunch of people on Twitter that were really raging and taking pop shots at IGN specifically because of their video where they were just talking about Kingdom Hearts. Now here's the craziest part about it and like the most outlandish thing about this whole debacle. They didn't even really say anything bad about Kingdom Hearts in general. They were talking about specifically the first game, but they were mentioning the series as a whole. And they were talking about it as one of the things that's part of their History of Awesome series. They were giving a lot of praise to Kingdom Hearts. One of their viewpoints and one of their key points that they actually put out in the actual video was that this was a concept that nobody at the time really expected to take off the ground in the way that it did. And I could confirm this firsthand as someone that was around during the time when the first Kingdom Hearts was released on PlayStation 2 and really seeing the grand landscape of gamers like actually reacting to the game when it came out. A lot of people really looked down upon Kingdom Hearts, especially the first game on PS2. Their whole mentality was that because it has Disney characters in it, granted it had Final Fantasy-esque characters showing up, and such, especially like Cloud, Cloud, was it Yuffie, Leon, Squall, and a whole bunch of others. A lot of people looked down upon it simply because it had Disney characters in it. Back in the day, having a game that had Disney-esque characters or anything related to Disney in it automatically gave this viewpoint that it was a kiddie-like game. And a lot of hardcore gamers, especially ones that were really into the PlayStation 2 era, playing games like Metal Gear Solid, Animosity, etc., really dismissed games like that. But those that actually, like myself, decided to take the dive into it, really kind of appreciated and really enjoyed the experience that we got out of playing Kingdom Hearts, which in turn has led us to this day, a lot of hardcore Kingdom Hearts fans out there, and all these different games that have appeared on a variety of platforms. This is really what they were talking about, and they were really praising the game. A couple of the guys that were on there in this actual video, again, I'll leave a link in the description box so you guys can actually see it for yourself and actually heed what I'm saying. A couple of the guys that were in that video, one of them being Marty Sleva, who's the senior editor over there at IGN for PlayStation content. He's been following the series for years. I know this. I've talked to the guy at various events and actually have seen plenty of his content where he's covered Kingdom Hearts, including, get this, including one of the actual Rewind trailers that IGN had did. It was a revision from one that had previously been done. What happened was a bunch of the editors, including Marty, were at PAX East, I believe it was, where they were actually covering the event, and a whole bunch of the editors went over there. And because this trailer had came out and because all this other stuff was happening, a couple of the associate editors at the website had to actually do a react trailer. And because they didn't know a lot about Kingdom Hearts, and because obviously that's relevant news and they can't wait about a week, for everybody to come right back after the event because it's like right then and there, like that. People don't seem to understand that. They seem to be like, you always have to be on the up and up and such. They don't take into account all this other stuff. But they ended up doing this video, and obviously, because they didn't know a lot about Kingdom Hearts and they weren't really well vetted in the actual series, it did kind of come out like crap. So ultimately fans got pissed about it. But what a lot of fans and a lot of people that rage at the website don't seem to understand is that when they finally got back, and at least, when they finally got word about this happening, Marty was the one that actually went and redid the entire, rewind trailer, and actually really went in there and analyzed almost everything that came out of it. And he still got crap over that. Why? Because he simply just works for IGN, and ultimately because IGN does one mess up, okay, that ultimately they have to be demonized, they have to be ostracized, and they have to be looked at as that evil corporation and such. And I have a real big problem with that. Not just because it's of IGN, but I see that with a variety of other websites, both big, medium, and small. And I think that's kind of like a really kind of like straightforward, one-sided, tunnel vision mentality that a lot of fans, not just KH fans, but all gaming fans really have to get out of. It's this bandwagon mentality that ultimately, because the entire majority of the community is really hating on one thing, that in order to be considered relevant, in order to be considered part of the majority in the group, you have to join in on that rather than actually think for yourselves, guys. So that's what I'm putting out there, okay? Look at the video, links in the description in the box below. Look at the actual stuff that what they were saying, listen to what they were saying, and understand that, listen, just because IGN might be a little bit critical of the Kingdom Hearts series doesn't ultimately mean that they hate it, and doesn't ultimately mean that they're a demon of a website, okay? Look at all the grand landscape of stuff that's out there for Kingdom Hearts, or just your favorite game in general. It doesn't have to be Kingdom Hearts, but look at everything that's out there. Don't just follow what other people feel at the moment in time. So that's all I got for you guys. I know it was a lot to swallow, and I know this was kind of like spur of the moment, reactionary a little bit, but put in the comment section below. I want to know what you guys think about this. Okay, again, this one kind of got me a little bit heated. Not only because, it's part of my favorite series, or one of my favorite RPG series in general, but also I see just kind of like, the hypocrisy and the kind of like the double standard here, a little bit of what's going on. And I just feel it's a little bit unjustified, not just because it's IGN, but just in general for any website to kind of go through something like that, whether it's big or small, and especially if they're saying great things about something, ultimately still the fandom's still gonna hate on it, even though they're saying great things and it's done by people that have been following this stuff for many, many years. So whatever, put it in the comment section below, let me know what you guys think, and I will talk to you guys again real soon. Peace out and stay epic, everybody.